These are the lettuce seedlings that we're going to put into our P.E.T bottles today and get them started in the hydroponic system. And there you can see the row of bottles made from old P.E.T drink bottles. Going up there, there's about 18 there. I think we've only got 6 or 7 plants to put in at the moment. So we'll start with the first one and see how it's done. Right, I'll take the first seedling out. You can see they're a bit dry. They need a bit of moisture in them, but we'll position it about there at the top so we can see we need a tiny little bit more scoria in, and then after that they're all a bit droopy, but that's because they haven't been watered today when they came down. I'll put that in there, and then we'll run round it and fill up the gap around it with scoria, like so. And then once we've got it settled down, we'll then give it a drink of nutrient and start it on its process of growing. That is pretty dry. Right, I'll water that, give that a good watering, let it run down, fill the P.E.T bottle up to the top to make sure that all the air gap is filled with water. The nutrient will run down into the black line along there and return back into the reservoir. Right, we'll do the next one. Same thing again. See how deep it has to go. And start putting some scoria all the way down around the side of it. Some in the back. Lift the leaves up so we don't damage them. Get them in around the back. A little bit more in the front here, not much. And that will fill that up. Water it and fill the P.E.T bottle up right up to the top. Nutrient will then run back into the reservoir. Right, another one. They're certainly looking a bit dry, but they'll pick up pretty quickly once they hit the system. That needs to come up a bit. And that is about as high as it needs to be. Put in some scoria around the side, like so. A little bit more there, then we'll water it. Fill it up once again, so there's plenty of nutrient in there. There's the first half dozen plants that I've just put in. We'll check back in a week and see what they look like. They look a lot more lively in a week's time once they've settled in here. That's the first set that's going into the P.E.T bottles, and I'll put out some more seeds this afternoon. These are the lettuce that I've planted out in our P.E.T bottle garden, hanging on the wall here. You can see they're starting to stabilise. It's been about a week now, and here I've got a couple of different ones that we bought. I haven't grown these from seed. They came in a punnet, but they're looking alright too. Won't be too long, probably another 2 weeks or something before we start picking those, but they're looking alright. Becoming established now. You can see there's new leaves on the lettuce there. It's now 3 weeks since they were planted out. They're starting to get over the shock. The first ones, the second batch are looking very good. In actual fact, we didn't grow them from seeds. We lost some of ours, so we had to replace them with a punnet. But they're growing along quite nicely. They'll be about 3 weeks and we'll pick those. The original lanky leaves will be dropping off soon, I would think. You can see the new leaves coming through there, and in there they're looking rather healthy. As we move along here, we've had a couple of quite hot days, and I think 1 or 2 of these lettuce are starting to bolt. That one there and that one there are bolting, so I'll have to replace those with new lettuce, but the rest are looking alright. A little bit droopy there, but it's been watered this morning, but that's a very nice one. And as I say, the early ones that went in are looking alright. So they've been in now for 3 weeks. So that's the condition of the plants after 3 weeks in the system.